Chesed Shel Emes, caring for the dignity of the dead. ZAKA, ZAKA Tel Aviv, even ZAKA South Africa, putting out announcements right after the massacre in Sydney, Australia. All of these organizations are not based in Australia. They're based in Israel or South Africa. There is a concept in Judaism of dealing with deceased individuals, body parts, blood, in a dignified manner. There are local Chavrei Kedisha. There's people who are largely anonymous who are dealing with the deceased. It's a very important thing. It is not a challenge on any of that importance or the relevance of very, very kind people who are giving of their time and mental health to help maintain the dignity of those who have been murdered. And obviously what happened in Sydney, Australia is an unspeakable tragedy. The issue that I had with these ZAKA organizations immediately running to social media to publicize that they're doing this is more of the issue. If one organization from a foreign country wanted to call and say, listen, rabbi or rabbis, whoever they're speaking to in the community, you guys are going through an unbelievably horrible thing. And in Israel, we have unfortunate proficiency in a lot of these issues. What do you need? And then the rabbis can say, wow, we could really use your set of hands. Please come. That is one thing. Or if said rabbis want to call these volunteers and say, please come because we need you. There'll be more to report on after and in the coming weeks. And this is not saying that everything is completely set in Sydney, Australia. There are issues. Every community has issues. This is not an excuse. This is not saying everything's perfect, they don't need help, or that anyone coming from a foreign country 100% is bad. That is not the issue. There are several problems with how the situation was handled on social media, which makes it relevant to this discussion. One, publicizing that you are immediately going because you're such a righteous individual is a bit bizarre. I think if that's the standard, then something really needs to change in Jewish philanthropy and how people go about their business. If you want to make the case that you are going to go as an organization, I think you should go privately and not make it a whole scene with staged photos in business class or in the business class check-in section or wherever it might be. I think that making it performative actually takes away from some of the issue. Again, remember, Chesed Shel Emes. And part of this issue actually goes back to Yehuda Meshi Zahav, the pedophile, rapist, criminal who killed himself when he was arrested. If you look at the Netflix documentary that's released in Israel, the bodies used to be placed in black bags. Yehuda Meshi Zahav was instrumental, according to this documentary, in introducing branded body bags. So there's already an issue in the performative nature. And we saw how this really got out of hand after October 7th, when you had many individuals, and I don't want to name names right here, but many individuals involved in ZAKA who spread heinous, false stories about what happened on October 7th. It was a media sensation. They went around promoting themselves in a lot of very, very false stories. This is not an indictment of every single volunteer. This is not saying that it's bad for people to support volunteers in their mental health or volunteers in their ability to do their work. This is not that. So don't make that argument. It's saying that when you have leaders that are making it about social media, Instagram, Facebook, and fundraising, if you look at ZAKA Tel Aviv, they literally sent out a fundraising email when the blood was not even dry. You have to ask yourself, what actually went into making this email? Are you calling the Sydney Jewish community? Are you calling local leaders and saying, do you need financial assistance? Do you need an extra set of hands? Do you need us to hop on a Zoom and try to help? Do you have enough people? Like, these are basic questions that should be done. And I think that the integrity of the deceased and integrity of the sitting Jewish community, you can actually do these things without publicizing it on social media. Again, remember, you're providing dignity for the dead. I'm not sure why that requires excessive Facebook posting. And the argument that this is impossible, it's impossible to raise money unless you promote it endlessly is also false. There are many, many kind-hearted people who want to help if it's needed. And if you go about your business and then afterwards want to share what you did, you can subsidize the costs. You can explain to people the work that you do. But to make it performative is not helpful, and it makes every organization that's trying to help look, quite honestly, pathetic. If you're doing something from a righteous motive, from a kind motive, from a motive that's exclusively concerned about the dignity of the dead, you can do it privately. There's no need to run to social media. There's no need to run and send out fundraising emails. That is the main contention. All the other details can be handled. But the idea that it appears performative and is excessively promoted on social media, that's the root of the problem. Remember, ZAKA intends to provide dignity for the dead. The key word being dignity.